How to apply your makeup for Zoom calls. Makeup application for Zoom calls is basically makeup for on-camera application, and I know a thing or two about how to apply your makeup for camera from my experience working behind the scenes for TV and film after graduating Vancouver Film School. So here are a few tips that you can use now that times have changed a little bit and we are working from home and taking a lot more Zoom calls for our meetings. So the reason I'm using a color correction primer for my first step is it's important for me to neutralize the skin tone. So when a primer goes onto your face, it evens out the redness, and the camera loves to pick up red spots on your face. So I like to apply this really evenly all over the complexion. Sometimes, depending on my skin that day, I like to apply a few layers. After you apply your primer, then I'm going to take a tinted moisturizer. The tinted moisturizer is from Evelina Beauty. I helped to develop this product, and it's a very lightweight moisturizer and easy to spread out so it doesn't look very cakey on. So I like to dot this all over my complexion, and then I use my foundation brush. This is a brush that I've developed for Anna V Beauty when I ran the Anna V Beauty School, and it's just a very sturdy foundation brush which evens out your product. Another product that I actually like to do, and today I'm needing a little bit more coverage, is I like to use a medium to full coverage foundation only on my T-zone. I'm using the Smashbox here. I use this only on my T-zone, the part that is still red and I can see imperfection, and I'm using it almost as a concealer. The reason I wanted to show you this, if you still feel like you need a bit of coverage, use this on top of your tinted moisturizer. If you still feel like you need a bit of concealer, then you can take your concealer on a brush and apply this right under the eyes, a little bit on the tip of the nose. I actually just did a mask today, so my skin is a little bit irritated and red. Under the eyes, on the chin, on the cheekbones, and then I'm using my foundation brush to just dab it in and spread it out. So these are all the steps that I recommend for your complexion to get the perfect complexion for the camera. Next, we're gonna focus on the eyes. The eye is gonna be all about looking professional and enhancing your eyes. Almost think of it as putting your eyes in a picture frame. I'm using a eyeshadow cream base, and I love this because it's easy to apply, it's super quick, it looks polished, and it gives you definition. So I'm using it right from the applicator, which comes with the product, and I'm sweeping this on, starting from the middle of the lids, and then I'm using my finger just to dab it in. So after you blended your cream eyeshadow, then I like to add definition, and I'm using a cream eyeliner. So this is almost like another cream eyeshadow, but I use it as an eyeliner to frame my eyes and give definition. This is what's going to bring the eyes out, bring your best face forward, basically, because I always believe the attention should be in the eyes. By applying a bit of contour around the eyes with this eyeshadow stick, it's gonna frame your eyes beautifully. Now, I'm a huge mascara fan, so I really like to take my time enhancing every eyelash. I start in the middle with my lashes, press them upwards, wiggle the lash line. Then I use the tip of the wand into that lower lash line to get into the inner corners. You can also get, again, I like to repeat this step many times to make sure that my lashes show up, because this really helps to open your eye for a wide awake look. So I like to use cream blush when you're in a rush. The reason I like to use cream, because again, it's really natural, it looks polished, and it's not too cakey and powdery. Remember, I am going to use powder at the end to set everything. So I don't like to layer too much powder because then it can look cakey. I rather build my look with cream products at this point. So I'm just dabbing natural color blush on the apples of my cheeks and into the cheekbones. I like to warm up the temples with this. Next, I'm also going to use a bronzer. So whether you want to use both, that's up to you. I do like to use bronzer because this gives me a little bit definition and the camera tends to make you look more flat. So it's nice to get a bit of shadows and warmth to the face, just to get a little bit of that natural definition. I like to apply this right on the cheekbones and a little bit underneath. Then I follow the hairline with this. Basically, I apply this everywhere where I need a bit of shadow and to frame the face. Just a little contour. So you can use that right on the jawline, tip of the nose, really wherever you want to get a bit of shadow. So last but not least, this is a very, very important step that I cannot stress enough. When you are in front of a camera, you want to mattify your look. Otherwise, you're gonna get a bit of a hot spot. You see that hot spot in the middle of my forehead? Yes, I just took it away with my translucent powder. Hot spots can be quite distracting, and you definitely don't want that when you have a conference call or a business call. So you want to just mattify your T-zone with a translucent powder. I like to apply this under the eyes and just sweep it on all over your complexion. The reason I dab it on the T-zone is to really take away the shine. That way it just stays mattified for a longer time. Then I'm going to use my favorite lip color. I personally like to use something with a bit of a brighter tone, but it really depends on your preference here. Thanks for watching my how to apply your makeup for Zoom tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a few things. I love supporting you with beauty education and beauty innovation.